Now, there's an academy in North London that's given the world some iconic stars. Stars that have gone on to achieve it all. Ray Parlour, Tony Adams, David Rocastle, Ashley Cole. As of the past few years, it gave Arsenal fans their fan favourite, their star boy, Bukayo Saka. And as of late, Hale End is beginning to set the tone for Arsenal's long-term future, long-term success, and maybe, just maybe, long-term dominance. Now let's stop talking about the past and talk about the present. Because Hale End has just delivered 3 amazing young talents which in my opinion will dominate football for the next decade. Talents which will 100% taste silverware within an Arsenal shirt. You want yourself trickery, charisma, personality, X factor in the final third. Somebody that can entertain fans across the world. That's Ethan Nwaneri. And he's only 18. You want yourself somebody with ice in their veins, calm, collected, composed. That's Myles Lewis-Skelly. And once again, he's only 18. You want yourself somebody that's not even old enough to hold a driver's license, but somebody that shows the whole world that age is just a number. Somebody that at the age of 15 doesn't look out of place in men's professional football. Somebody at the age of 15 which genuinely looked like a baby version of Lionel Messi. And that's Max Dowman. Now we have to start with Max Dowman. He's been talk of the town for the past 24 hours and for good reason. For very good reason. That performance against Newcastle in a preseason game, I feel like it caught every single person's attention. Whether you live in the UK, whether you live in Africa, in North America, every single football fan that saw that performance. And before anybody turns around and tells me it's preseason, yeah, you could turn around and say it's preseason to a 26-year-old seasoned pro, but not to a 15-year-old kid. He wasn't fazed by the occasion. He wasn't fazed by coming up against these grown men. And when you've got Joe Linton trying to clatter him, when you've got Joe Linton hitting him in the face, and this kid still stood up on his 2 feet and took the game to Newcastle, don't tell me it's preseason. Don't tell me it's preseason. This kid genuinely didn't look out of place. And that's when you know you've got your hands on a special talent. So many players, they get intimidated by the occasion. One little clattering, they step away. Maybe this is too much for them. Maybe it's come too early. This kid went out there and showed the whole world, I've got balls. I'm going out there and I'm playing my game. And I don't care about every single one of you guys. I'm about to showcase my talent to the whole world. When he picks up the ball on the right-hand side and he's genuinely dribbling in and out of players like they're a bunch of cones at a training session. In, out, that low center of gravity. But the thing that caught my attention the most was the fact that at the age of 15, even when he gets the little shove in the back, when he gets a little shoulder barge, he's got that balance to maintain control of his body, of the ball. The directness genuinely shocked every Newcastle player. It caught them by surprise, and it genuinely, I feel like it surprised and entertained all fans across the world, and he's only 15. Now, if you're old enough, you're good enough. And age is just a number. Why couldn't somebody like Max Dowman have a very similar story to somebody like Lamine Yamal? When he popped onto the scene, everyone was like, he's 16, he's 17, he's not ready. After 12 months, in so many people's eyes, he's the best player in the world. Now, of course, when it comes to Arsenal, when it comes to Max Dowman, I feel like now they just need to keep him level-headed. Now they need to continue to develop, grow him, nurture him. Don't overplay him. But when the opportunity presents itself, Arteta, Arsenal, they need to try and integrate this kid. Just give him a few cameos off the bench. Just give him a taste of men's football, because I can guarantee you it will benefit him so much. Now, next up, you've got Ethan Nwaneri, who's 18. And I remember when he came off the bench against Nottingham Forest and he scored that goal, and he changed the game within a matter of 8 to 10 minutes. I was like, this kid is special. This kid is special. And if Arsenal, if Mikel Arteta gets the opportunity to integrate this kid is more than ready. Now, where the issue is with Ethan Nwaneri, and it's not really that big of an issue. It's more a matter of, this is your challenge. Can you prove me wrong? This is your challenge. Can you force your way into the team? The 2 positions that he's most gifted in, whether it's in that half space between the right-hand side and the number 9, that's a position that's occupied by Arsenal's captain, Martin Odegaard. What about the right-hand side, a position that he's also very familiar in? That's the position that's occupied by fan favourite, Arsenal's best player, Bukayo Saka. He's coming up against tough competition to force his way into the team, because I'm not really a big fan of misprofiling the kid and putting him in a position where he's not too comfortable in just for the sake of giving him minutes. No, I would rather he plays the game in an area, in a position that he's most familiar in, and then he could allow him to master that position, to understand it week in, week out. But listen, As a kid, I genuinely feel like he's got it all to put in the hard hours, to put in the hard yards, to put in that time, effort on the pitch, in the gym, and force his way into Mikel Arteta's plans, because this kid can have equal impact on the pitch as somebody like Martin Odegaard. And there were periods last season when Arsenal had injuries to Saka, to Martin Odegaard. He was the standout performer. He was the game changer. He was the guy that was scoring goals. He was the guy that was creating opportunities. But it just feels like his journey into getting into the Arsenal starting 11, it might take longer than we all expected because of the competition. But at the end of the day, competition can only make you better. And I feel like with Nwaneri, this is the beginning of something very, very, very special. And he's only 18. He doesn't have to be a starter week in, week out at the age of 18. But he needs to be integrated into the team. He needs to get more opportunities, in my opinion. Not if Odegaard is injured or if Saka is injured. No, even if they're fully fit and they're healthy, Nwaneri still needs to be getting some minutes. Finally, Myles Lewis-Skelly. Literally the prime embodiment of ice in his veins. Calm, composed, give him the ball. With him being pressured by 3-4 different players, he'll find a way out and he'll still make the right pass on a consistent basis. And I feel like for Arteta, this is so important. So important. I genuinely look at Myles Lewis-Skelly and I say, maybe, just maybe, Arteta is looking at him in a very similar way to the way he looked at somebody like Zinchenko. Now, the problem is with Zinchenko, defensively, he gets exploited, he gets exposed. With somebody like Myles Lewis-Skelly, you put him out as a left back. Now, in possession, he integrates, he moves himself into the midfield position where now he can play his game. He can be that orchestrator from deep. He can progress play. He can help Arsenal defend transition. And of course, if they lose possession, he goes into that left back position, but he's tenacious. He's aggressive. I feel like his reading of the game at the age of 18 is very, very, very impressive. And before people say, but he got X amount of red cards and he gave X amount of fouls, at the end of the day, he's 18. He's good enough for an 18-year-old playing men's professional football. But at the same time, you have to take the good with the bad and the bad with the good. You have to look at it and tell yourself, what can this player become in 1, 2, 3 more years? With more men's football, with more development, with more experience. If at the age of 18, you're not really looking at a place, then only God knows what you'll be doing at the age of 20, 21, when your game is more refined, when you as an individual is more developed, when you as a player is more familiar with your coach, with your teammates, with the system. These 3 players are going to have a massive impact on Arsenal's long-term future.